Hey friends, welcome back. I'm the Zim and this is the Zim video, and we're going to talk about best hero combinations in Top War, and this is not the video that you think it's going to be. So first off, if you want a breakdown of specific heroes and what they do and that kind of idea, there's two other channels right now that are dropping those kind of information. Teamy and then Avenge Famine. So be sure to go check them out. I'll link them up below. This is for an overview of kind of mindset of how you should approach upgrading and using heroes. And the way I see it, like this game, we fall into three main categories. We have our free-to-play players. We have our, low spending to moderate spending levels. And then we have our could have bought in a few cars with the amount of money that we spent on this game. I'm not talking to that last group. If you've spent enough money on this game that you could have put a down payment on a home, that's a totally different conversation. And that I feel is only about 1% of the population of that play this game, or in other words, we call them whale players. And that is also the only category that you have to be concerned with who the strongest heroes actually are. Everyone else that's not spending your life savings on this game, you don't really have to be concerned with how strong the heroes you decide to use are in relationship to the rest of the game. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a breakdown on how I think you should approach your upgrading your heroes based on the fact that you are not spending all the money. So first off is it's really impossible to say which are the best heroes because you don't have access to all the heroes. You're only going to have access to the heroes that are released at the time you start playing moving forward, and then some of the heroes will be released as pay event things here and there that you can get. But there's been a couple special events like the Transformer event and like the Evangelion event, which we're unlikely to be getting those heroes again. Maybe we can, maybe we won't, but we don't know. They're not dropped as regular as some of the other heroes. So they have to keep that in mind. So the best heroes that you are going to be using are any hero that's going to be released from this date. Today is March 9th, 2023, moving forward. But we can talk a little bit about some past heroes. So keep that in mind. So this is what you got to do. Get in a good alliance. Get some gems out of the alliance. So whenever a new hero comes out, we just had a new hero come out, Layla, who I picked up. I collect all the heroes even though I won't use them. We just got Layla came out recently. She's a new hero. So probably 9 times out of 10, every new hero that's released is gonna be decent to better than what has come before. So keep that in mind. There's rarely do they drop a hero that's not worth it unless it's like a larger event of heroes. Like with the Transformer event they dropped Bumblebee, they dropped a couple, RC falls under that category, maybe Starscream falls under that category. So since they dropped a bunch of heroes at once, some of them were way better, like Megatron's an awesome hero. Prime is pretty awesome as well. They give you awesome heroes, but then they also give you just some filler heroes just for the event. The Evangelion heroes, I don't know. I know I've heard that Shinji is pretty good. I don't know if the counterpart of Rei is just as good or not. All right, so this is the way you should approach heroes as a free-to-play, low-spending player. Right now, we're going to list off, as of this date, I already mentioned, March 9th, 2023. These are the heroes, the orange heroes even worth considering. So with Army, Katusha, Amalia, Bradley, Pollock, Precise, Springfield, Cromwell, Ben, and Fahad. For Navy, Basil, Nimitz, Kodia, Aranize, Nemo, Nareed, Akatora, 914, and you. For Air Force, Rockfield, Aya, Koom and Hazel, Maximos, Saker, Selena, and Villers. So those, right as this date, those are the only heroes you should be considering. And I intentionally left out all the Transformer heroes because we don't know if you can get them again. And I left out the Evangelion heroes because we don't know if we can get those again. So out of the heroes that you could get right now, those are kind of the top, the upper echelon of heroes that you could possibly come across and get either through free-to-play or through spending a little bit of money to get them right now. But you don't really want to spend any money. You just focus on the new heroes that get released within the unit type of that you have, and that'll be the hero that you focus on for a while. Okay, so now that you've decided what you're using, it's kind of nice that we actually do still have some free-to-play heroes that are good. Katusha, still amazing hero. Bradley is good hero for Army. Nimitz and Basil are kind of so-so for Navy, but they're okay to focus on for a while. when you're just starting out. And then Rockfield is okay as an air hero if you're as a free-to-play hero. Yeah, clearly Air Force has the least amount of good heroes to use. All right, so now what? Now that you know a little bit about what heroes to use, it's like, what should you do now? So you're working your way to get to 3 hero march. Once you get to 3 hero march, you have 3 heroes you focus on. You know, as a moderately spending player to no spending player, the amount of time it'll take you to get to 3 hero march to upgrading heroes, you won't have to worry about your 3rd hero because you won't be there yet. You won't have upgraded your first 2 heroes in that amount of time to be fully 5 stars anyway. So just kind of work, you know, pick 2 heroes that you're into. One of them probably free to play depending on your unit type. I do highly recommend, if you are free to play, pick Army. It's going to be your best way to go for a lot of other reasons, which we won't get into today. So what you want to do now, from my experience playing the game, and I didn't do it this way, I probably would have reevaluated if I knew this better going into it, is you want to pick 3 heroes, stick with them, and perk them all the way out. So as a main march, you just use your main march. You pick 3 heroes for your attacking march, your main march. You pick 3, you level them up to 5 stars, and then you start perking those 3 out. The perking a hero sort of goes a little bit faster than just leveling them up. It feels like anyway. So keep that in mind, although you need the perk books to get them. So we're on Katusha. I'm working on perking out Katusha right now. I happen to be lucky and in a good alliance that's helping me got a lot of perk books so I can swap them out. Eventually you want to swap all these perks to be all force attack, the unit type attack, all force defense, and the unit force type defense. So it'll be all perked out to the type of unit that you are. And then once you get it all perked out on, especially on a free-to-play hero, like if you have one of your free-to-play heroes as one of your main heroes, it'll be easier to perk them out because you get shards for that hero in just regular gameplay. You don't have to spend all universal orange shards on it. And then once you get that one of those heroes perked out, you can swap those perks between another hero. So Prime is probably what I'll swap my Katusha perks with once I get it, because Prime is in, I want to have Prime in my main march. So I'll swap to Prime, and then I'll do that process all over again on Katusha. I will perk her out again and then pick another hero. I'll probably put all my Katusha perks on Megatron. So then when a new hero comes out, the same thing applies. Like once you have 3 heroes with all fully perked out, you can then, moving forward, you can decide what is a better hero to put in my march than the one I already have with what's being released. You'll take you 2 months, maybe 3 months to, depending on how much you spend, if you're low spending, no spending, 2 to 3 months to get that hero 5-starred, and then you could just swap the perks out with one of your other heroes that you already have. So I hope that helps, this idea. Best hero march combinations, because honestly, if you're not a whale spending your life savings on this game, you're not gonna compete. Just not gonna compete. So you don't really need to worry. I know it's fun probably to know who the strongest heroes are, and it might be neat information. Go watch Team-E, go watch Avenged Famine, go find out who the strongest heroes are. But for most of us, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who our strongest heroes, because if you perk out your hero set, that's probably going to be enough to go up against anybody remotely close to your own level, because we're all going to have different heroes. It's not going to be the same. We're not all going to have the best heroes maxed out because we're not spending all the money to make that possible. So just focus on one group of 3 heroes, perk them out, and then when you get to that point, you can swap the perks between other heroes. Hopefully that's helpful for some of us that are thinking about, how should I approach my heroes? Always new ones coming out. What should I do? Just go with the best ones are available right now. Perk 3 of them out, and then swap as you need to as you go down the line. I stream this game at least once a week right here on YouTube and Twitch, so I hope to see you back in the chat sometime with me. Keep an eye out on the channel. Subscribe to the show. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, it's your boy, The Zim. This is The Zim Video. And as always, be loving, kind, and patient. Peace, my friends.